Welcome to a deep dive into the chilling world of Until Dawn.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at the Wikipedia article on the game.
Okay.
It blends classic horror with interactive storytelling.
Yeah.
As the player,
Mm-hmm.
you have the power to shape the narrative
Yeah.
and determine who survives the night.
Right.
Pretty cool.
It's a really unique approach, I think.
It is. And, one of the most intriguing aspects is the butterfly effect system.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of just impacting the plot, your choices actually determine who lives and who dies.
Right.
It's not just about what happens,
Mm-hmm.
but who you save or who you condemn.
Yeah, and that's what's so captivating about it. Like,
Yeah.
it constantly makes you question the
Yeah.
weight of your decisions. Every choice,
Yeah.
no matter how small,
Yeah.
could have major repercussions down the
Yeah.
line, you know? And it really taps into that feeling of unease and dread
Right.
that's central to the horror experience.
Right. So picture this.
Okay.
8 friends head to a secluded mountain lodge
Yeah.
for a weekend getaway.
Okay.
Classic horror movie setup.
Right. Yeah.
Until Dawn definitely plays with those familiar tropes,
Uh-huh.
drawing inspiration from films like Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
But then it throws in this layer of player agency that changes everything.
Yeah, the developers were clearly inspired by those classic slasher films.
Uh-huh.
But, they wanted to subvert expectations by giving the player control.
Yeah.
Like, you think you know what's coming next based on, those familiar tropes, but then a choice you make sends the story veering off
Right.
in a completely different direction.
Right.
And it keeps you on your toes,
Yeah.
constantly questioning your assumptions.
And speaking of keeping you on your toes, the game has this incredible mechanic
Oh, yeah.
called Don't Move.
Oh, right.
You're hiding from some unseen terror,
Yeah.
and to stay undetected,
Uh-huh.
you have to physically hold your controller perfectly still.
Wow.
I'm going to talk about a way to get your heart racing.
Yeah, the developers were really interested in creating
Mhm.
a truly immersive and terrifying experience.
Right.
The Wikipedia article mentions they even used Galvanus skin response tests
Wow.
on playtesters
Really?
to measure their fear levels in different scenes.
Wow.
It's fascinating they took it to that level of scientific analysis to understand what truly scares people.
Yeah, that's a dedication to horror that I can appreciate.
Right.
But who exactly are these poor characters hiding from?
Right.
Well, it turns out the antagonists of Until Dawn
Yeah.
are Wendigos.
Yeah.
These cannibalistic creatures from Native American folklore.
Now, the Wendigo myth
Yeah.
is truly chilling.
Yeah.
They're often seen as embodiments of greed, hunger, and the dangers of isolation. All themes that tie in perfectly with the game's setting and the mystery surrounding 2 missing twins.
Okay, so we got this isolated location,
Yes.
a group of friends,
Yep.
and these terrifying creatures lurking in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the characters themselves?
Right.
At first glance, they might seem like typical horror archetypes,
Yeah.
but as you get deeper into the game,
They really start to develop in unexpected ways.
Right.
And what's interesting is that their development is directly influenced
mm-hmm.
by your choices as a player.
Yeah,
You're not just shaping their actions,
Right.
but their personalities and relationships as well.
right,
It adds a layer of moral complexity
Mm.
to the experience.
right.
Making those tough decisions becomes even harder
Yeah.
because you've had a hand in shaping who these characters are.
Speaking of shaping the game,
Yeah.
I found it fascinating that Until Dawn wasn't originally intended for the PlayStation 4.
Oh, really?
The Wikipedia article mentions that it was initially conceived as a PlayStation Move game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So the game went through a pretty dramatic evolution.
Mhm.
During development,
right.
starting as a first-person exploration game
Uh-huh.
with a younger target demographic,
Okay.
eventually they shifted to a more cinematic third-person perspective,
Right.
embraced more mature themes and a wider audience,
Yeah.
and landed on the PlayStation 4 as the ideal platform.
Wow. So,
Yeah, and that shift in platforms seems like it was a smart move.
yeah.
The Wikipedia article highlights how Until Dawn became a surprise hit,
Oh, wow.
exceeding Sony's expectations,
Really?
despite not having like a massive marketing campaign behind it.
So it seems like it resonated with players organically?
Yeah,
Did the critics embrace it as well?
absolutely. Until Dawn received a lot of critical acclaim,
Okay.
with reviewers praising its branching narrative, immersive QuickTime events,
Uh-huh.
and, how effectively it utilized and subverted classic horror tropes.
Speaking of those QuickTime events,
Yeah.
or QEs,
Yeah.
as they're often called,
Uh-huh.
I'm curious about how they were integrated into the gameplay.
Yeah.
For those who might not be familiar with the term, QEs are those moments in a game where you have to press a specific button or sequence of buttons
Right.
at the right time to perform an action,
Yep.
often a crucial one in a tense situation.
Yeah, and in Until Dawn, these QEs are seamlessly woven into the gameplay,
Okay?
adding another layer of player engagement
Mm-hmm.
and really ramping up the tension.
Right.
They're not just about testing your reflexes.
Yep.
They often involve life or death decisions,
Oh, wow.
forcing you to think quickly and react under pressure.
So every decision, every button press
Yeah,
essentially carries the weight of a character's fate.
right.
I can see why that would be so engaging for players.
Yeah,
What about the game's legacy?
right.
Did Until Dawn have a lasting impact on the horror genre
Oh, yeah.
or inspire other games?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Until Dawn wasn't just a standalone success story.
Hmm.
It really pushed the boundaries of interactive storytelling and horror.
Right.
The game's success demonstrated there's a real appetite for these types of experiences
Yeah.
where player choice is paramount.
And it didn't stop with the game itself, did it?
No.
I understand there were other projects,
Yeah.
spin-offs, perhaps,
Right.
even a prequel,
Yeah.
exploring the Wendigo mythos in more depth.
You're right on the mark.
Okay.
Until Dawn spawned several spin-offs and a prequel,
Okay.
expanding the universe beyond the original game.
Right.
One notable example is Until Dawn,
Yeah.
Rush of Blood,
Uh-huh.
a VR experience that throws you into a terrifying roller coaster ride
Oh, wow.
through the game's
A
world.
VR horror experience.
Yeah,
Set in the Until Dawn universe.
right.
That sounds intense.
Yeah,
I'm particularly curious about the prequel,
okay.
The Inpatient.
Uh-huh.
Did they use that opportunity to delve deeper into the history of the Wendigos?
Well, in The Inpatient,
Yeah.
you find yourself 60 years before the events of Until Dawn,
Okay.
in the very same abandoned sanatorium that
Mhm.
plays a significant role in the main game.
Right.
You actually get to experience the events leading up to its downfall,
Oh, wow.
uncovering secrets and piecing together the history of
Oh.
the Wendigo's presence on the mountain.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
A prequel set in such a pivotal location
Right.
must have added so much to the overall lore and atmosphere of the Until Dawn world.
Yeah.
But the expansion doesn't stop there, right?
No.
There were rumors of a film adaptation as well?
Yes. A film adaptation of Until Dawn is in development,
Wow.
produced by Screen Gems
Okay.
with David F. Sandberg,
Uh-huh.
known for horror films like Lights Out and Annabelle, creation directing.
Wow. To have someone with Sandberg's experience in horror at the helm
Right.
is really exciting. It
Yeah.
speaks to the impact Until Dawn has had,
Mm-hmm.
moving beyond the realm of video games
Yeah.
and into the world of film.
It really is a testament to the game's narrative strength
Right.
and its ability to capture the essence of horror.
Yeah.
The fact that it's being adapted for the big screen
Mm-hmm.
shows that the story and characters have resonated with audiences
Mm-hmm.
beyond the gaming community.
And speaking of reaching a wider audience,
Yeah.
didn't the original Until Dawn recently get a remake
That's right.
for the PlayStation 5 and Windows?
The remake utilizes the power of Unreal Engine 5,
Uh-huh.
giving the game a significant visual overhaul.
Right.
But they didn't stink at just graphical enhancements.
Okay.
They added new music,
Mm-hmm.
an extended prologue to delve deeper into the
Oh,
backstory,
wow.
and even some brand new endings to discover.
Your endings.
Yeah,
So even for those who have already experienced the original Until Dawn,
right.
the remake offers a reason to revisit Blackwood Mountain
Yeah,
and potentially uncover new twists and turns.
exactly. And just like in the original, player choice remains at the forefront.
Right.
The butterfly effect system is still in full force,
Okay.
ensuring that every decision has the potential to ripple through the narrative
Mm-hmm.
and lead to a unique experience.
Now, I know they made some adjustments to the gameplay in the remake,
Right.
specifically accommodating players who might not be using
Uh-huh.
the motion sensing capabilities of a PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
Did they make any changes to the iconic Don't Move feature?
They did.
Okay.
They introduced a stay calm mechanic,
Okay.
which provides a similar experience to the Don't Move challenge,
Right.
but is designed for non-PlayStation peripherals
Uh-huh.
that might not have those motion sensing capabilities.
That's a great way to ensure accessibility
Right.
for a wider range of players.
Yeah.
Without sacrificing that element of tension and immersion
Mm-hmm.
that made the Don't Move feature so effective. Sounds like they really put a lot of thought into making the remake accessible and engaging
Yeah.
for both new and returning players.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious, did they preserve those core elements
Right.
that made Until Dawn so captivating in
Yeah.
the first place?
Uh-huh.
Like the chilling atmosphere, and those terrifying Wendigos,
Yeah.
and of course the characters we can't help but get invested in.
Absolutely. All those elements are still very much present in the
Okay.
remake.
Okay.
The Wendigos are as menacing as ever.
Okay.
The atmosphere is thick with suspense, and the characters
Yeah.
retain their compelling personalities and relationships.
It's fascinating how Until Dawn,
Yeah.
in both its original and remade forms,
Right.
manages to capture the feeling of a classic slasher film
Mm-hmm.
while also giving you, the player,
Uh-huh.
such a significant role in shaping the story.
Right.
It's like stepping into your own interactive horror movie.
And that's precisely what makes it such a unique and memorable experience.
Right.
It blends the thrills and chills of horror with the agency of interactive storytelling,
Yeah.
creating something that really stands out in the genre.
Right.
It's no surprise that Until Dawn continues to resonate
Yes.
so strongly with both players and critics.
So as we wrap up our deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of Until Dawn,
Yeah,
what are the key takeaways
Right.
we want to leave our listener with?
well, first and foremost,
Yeah.
Until Dawn is a prime example
Okay.
of how impactful player choice can be
All right.
in interactive storytelling.
Right.
The butterfly effect system isn't just a gimmick.
Right.
It genuinely makes you feel like your decisions
Right.
have weight and consequences,
hmm
shaping the narrative in meaningful ways.
And let's not forget
Right.
those heart-stopping moments of suspense
yeah.
from the don't move
Right.
and stay calm challenges
Right.
to those intense encounters with the Wendigos.
Yeah.
Until Dawn knows how to keep you on the edge of your seat.
It also masterfully utilizes those familial horror tropes, playing with our expectations and subverting them.
Yeah.
Through the branching narrative, you think you know what's coming next.
Right.
But the game constantly keeps you guessing.
Whether you're experiencing the original game or diving into the visually stunning remake, Until Dawn offers a truly captivating blend
Yeah.
of horror, suspense, and player agency.
But here's a final thought-provoking question to leave you with.
Okay.
With hundreds of possible endings in Until Dawn,
Yeah.
what choices would you make to survive the night? Would you prioritize your own survival
Yeah.
or risk everything to save your friends?
That's a tough one.
The choice is yours,
Right.
and the consequences could be deadly.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into Until Dawn.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.